Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the horror movie called Psycho. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. On a quiet Friday afternoon at a hotel in Phoenix, real estate secretary Marion Crane and lover Sam Loomis began a conversation about their inability to marry due to the weight of their financial obligations and the financial support he must provide for his ex-spouse from a previous marriage. After their interaction, when she returned to her workplace, she decided to steal a substantial sum of $400,000 that was entrusted to her to deposit in the bank. With this substantial amount of money, she begins her journey to Sam's mansion in Fairvale, California, where he owns a retail establishment specializing in hardware products. In the midst of her journey, she quickly embarks on her auto business, a transaction that raises suspicion not only with the auto dealership, but also with a California Highway Patrol soldier. Due to inclement weather during the trip, Marion decides to spend the night at the Bates Motel, a location near a main road. The owner, a gentleman named Norman Bates, hails from an important residence on a hill overlooking the motel. Using the pseudonym adopted by Marion Norman, he picks her up on time and invites her to a party at his company. Back at her mansion, Marion accidentally overhears a heated argument between him and his mother figure Norma over Marion's unexpected presence. Norman then returns to Marion's area with a meager meal and apologizes for his mother's emotional outbursts. In conversation, he delves into topics such as his interest in taxidermy, his mother's plight, and the concept of individuals trapped in their personal captivity they want to get rid of. Back in her quarters, Marion wrestles with guilt over her illegal act and decides to return to Phoenix the next morning to return the stolen change hidden in the newspaper. Unnoticed by her, cunning Norman becomes aroused by her movements while secretly watching her through a peephole in the wall. During Marion's ablution, a mysterious figure materializes, giving her a violent stroke and leaving her lifeless. Overcome with despair and disgust upon discovering Marion's dead form, Norman meticulously cleans up the crime scene, surrounding the corpse with a shower curtain, placing it next to his belongings, and secretly earning wealth from his car. He then crashes the vehicle into a nearby swamp, successfully hiding evidence of the sinister deed near the motel. Then 7 days pass, during which time Marion's siblings, Lila and Michael, arrive in Fairvale. In a conversation with Sam, Lila reveals the details of the embezzlement and begins an investigation into Marion's whereabouts. However, Sam vehemently denies any knowledge of Marion's disappearance. At this point, they are approached by private detective Milton Arbogast, who reveals his mission to recover the stolen funds. When he learns that Marion spent the night at the Bates Motel, Arbogast takes over to interrogate Norman, whose palpable fear and incoherent testimonies fuel the investigator's skepticism. When Norman hints that Marion has started a dialogue with her mother, Arbogast asks her to get in touch. However, Norman's reaction is a rejection. Although Arbogast has not yet voiced the most serious suspicion, he tries to inform Sam and Lila of his findings and promises to provide more information in due course. Then as he enters the Bates mansion in search of Norman's mother, an apparition resembling an old woman emerges from the chamber and deals a fatal blow to Arbogast. Unable to find out anything from Arbogast, Sam and Lila are curious about the Bates Motel that Arbogast was targeting. The two then visit Chambers, the local sheriff. Chambers reveals that Norman's maternal ancestor died 10 years earlier, a tragic event that ended in a murder-suicide. The sheriff alleges that Arbogast deliberately deceived Sam and Lila to make it easier for him to prosecute Marion and embezzle funds. Although initially skeptical, Sam and Lila become increasingly suspicious of Arbogast's fate, which forces her to take a trip to the motel in question. Sam and Lila pretend to be married, assume false identities to find a place to stay, and begin exploring Marion's room. This investigation leads to the discovery of the glaring absence of a shower curtain and a fragment of parchment, suggesting that Marion appropriated some of the stolen sum of money. Sam cleverly involves Norman in the motel office and distracts him while Lila secretly invades the motel. Norman, driven by a feeling of fear, becomes more and more nervous and disables Sam for physical violence. Norman hastily rushes to headquarters. At this point, Lila is secretly hiding in the basement known as the fruit cellar, where a gruesome discovery awaits her: the mummified remains of Norman's mother figure. Overwhelmed, Lila lets out a loud scream. Norman takes advantage of this opportune moment and enters the basement in his mother's dress and wig, raising a pistol to attack her. Through a twist of fate, Sam intervenes, quickly defeats Norman, and manages to save Lila from imminent danger. A psychiatrist, Dr. Simon Richmond, needs to be present at the law enforcement center for the investigation. Dr. Richmond explains the complex psychological situation surrounding Norman and explains how his hidden jealousy turned out to be the trigger for the deaths of his mother figure, Norma, and her lover, orchestrated through the use of a poisonous substance called strychnine a decade ago. What followed was the mummification of Norma's remains and the beginning of a disturbing pattern of behavior in which Norman took the path of psychological manifestation and treated the deceased as if she were still alive. This deception went so far as to create within her psyche an alternate personality that embodied her mother's characteristics and the same level of jealousy and possessiveness that marked her during her time among the living. Due to his attraction to women, another personality named Mother materializes in Norman's consciousness, causing him to commit murderous acts. Her murderous tendencies extend beyond Marion's unfortunate death that claimed the lives of two other young women, and Arbogast's fate was sealed to ensure Mother was hidden. Sinister deeds. Dr. Richmond says Norman's personality was completely consumed by the overwhelming presence of this alternate self. Confined to a prison cell, Norman suffers auditory hallucinations after hearing his mother's clear voice, who is adamant that the killing spree was in fact his creation. As the game progresses, the sunken remains of Marion's vehicle are successfully recovered from the swamp.